cook. She got the recipe. She got what you need. That girl can cook. That black girl magic. I gotta have it. The way she work it. The way she whip it. She's so savage.
Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. And today we are making a southern homemade buttermilk cornbread with a honey butter recipe, and I'm going to be using my 8-inch cast iron skillet because that's the only way to go. So let's get started. All right, so let's add in about 2 tablespoons of salted butter. This is real butter, y'all. Make sure you use real butter, as well as 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. And we're just gonna put this together and let it melt in our preheated oven at 350 degrees. It'll probably take about 2 to 3 minutes for it to melt, and this is what it should look like. You're gonna pull that out and set it to the side because we're gonna need it for later. All right, so you need you a large mixing bowl, and to that we're going to add in 1.5 cups of yellow cornmeal, as well as 1 cup of all-purpose flour. The flour in this mixture is going to make sure that our cornbread is not gritty. All right, so please do not skip that step. We're also going to add in about 3.5 teaspoons of baking powder and a few pinches of salt. So honey, grab you a whisk or a fork and whisk all of these ingredients together. You always want to make sure that you whisk the dry with the dry and then add in the wet. All right, get that whisk together really well. And look here, if you want to add some sugar, add about a 1/4 cup of sugar or more. I mean, you know, it'll be all right. But southern cornbread ain't sweet. Everybody knows that. You know, sometimes we'll do a little sugar every now and then. But this is buttermilk cornbread, so I will not be adding any sugar. However, we are going to add in 2/3 cups of buttermilk. That's whole buttermilk. And I'm also going to crack in 2 fresh large eggs. All right. And then we're going to whisk that together again. Also, if you want to add just a tad bit of sweetness, like let's say you do like the sweet cornbread, honey is your go-to. But don't forget, we're making a homemade honey butter sauce to go with this. So make sure you stay tuned for that in the end. All right, honey, so this is a little secret that we do in my family, and that is Duke's mayonnaise. All right, you gotta add some mayonnaise. It has the fat and the oil in it that's gonna keep that cornbread moist and nice. Just add in about a tablespoon, just a little tablespoon. And I recommend Duke's. If not Duke's, maybe Hellmann's will do. And that's it. Don't use none of that crap. I mean, if that's what you like, then hey, go for it. But this calls for real mayonnaise. All right, and we're gonna add in that oil and butter that we melted just a second ago. That's also gonna give this cornbread some moisture to make sure that it's not dry and all crackly when we take it out of the oven. You want to mix that in, and then we're gonna pour it into our 8-inch skillet. All right, so we're gonna add this into our skillet. Once again, this is an 8-inch cast iron skillet that I'm using, and all of that leftover oil and butter that's in the bottom is gonna prevent this cornbread from sticking. Because honey, when you cut it, you want the slice to come right out. You don't want it to be all stuck to the bottom of the skillet. So make sure you have a little bit of that left over in there. And this is going straight into the oven at 350 degrees, and we're gonna bake it for about 18 to 20 minutes. It may take less time, it may take a little bit longer, but for my oven, it's about 18 minutes. And you want to make sure you keep an eye on that. Don't let that sit still too long. All right, so now we're gonna work on our honey butter, because even though I don't like sweet cornbread, I do like a nice sweet honey butter to go with it. So you're gonna need 1 stick of salted butter, not margarine, butter, real butter now. And we're just gonna press that together, and we're gonna add in a good tablespoon of honey, any kind of honey that you have. All right, but I'm using a local raw honey, and it is delicious honey. All right, and I'm gonna also add in about a teaspoon of heavy whipping cream. All right, just a little bit. And if you can, use that at room temperature. When it's colder, to make it clump up a little bit. All right, but we're gonna mix that all together, and then you want to make sure that you taste it, because you want butter that is sweetened with honey, not honey plus butter. All right, you want to make sure that you have the right ratios with that. So taste it. Make sure it's right where you want it. Make sure it's sweet enough. The saltiness will definitely be there from the butter, but you want to make sure that it's sweet enough. All right, so it's been about 18 minutes and I'm taking this cornbread out. It's actually cooked all the way through, but honey, look, I want some nice color on it. All right, so I'm gonna take a little bit of my honey butter that I just made. If you don't want to use honey butter, you can use regular butter, and I'm just gonna slather that all on top. I'm gonna massage it right on top. Give this a little honey butter bath. All right, I'm gonna get all of the creases on here. I'm gonna make sure it gets around all of the edges and it covers every single spot. I don't want to miss a spot. All right, and then I'm gonna stick this back in the oven to brown the top. All right, I'm going to cut my oven on broil, and I'm going to brown the top just a little bit, but do not walk away or you'll have black cornbread. We don't want that. And this is what my finished product looks like. I browned it for about maybe 2 to 3 minutes. It did not take long at all. Now let's cut into this. Let's cut into it. Oh goodness. Y'all, this is fresh out of the oven. I didn't even wait not 1 second to cut this. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Check it out. Check it out. It's coming. You want to make sure you get the cut even because you don't want it to fall apart. I want the perfect slice. The absolute perfect slice. Look. Ooh. Woo! Y'all, when I tell y'all that cornbread was delicious. Y'all, this is some of the best cornbread you will ever make. All right, look at that. Slather on some of that honey butter and a little drizzle of honey. And look at that. Honey, it was good. Do y'all hear me? I'm not playing with y'all. And I want y'all to try this recipe and let me know what y'all think. Okay? This recipe also pairs very well with my homemade chili recipe. So go ahead, give this video a thumbs up if you found this recipe easy to follow. And let me know what you think in the comments. And I'll see y'all next time in the next video. Bye.